Hi there YouTubers, I'm Sarah B and welcome to your seated poses yoga class. We're going to be keeping kind of under the radar here today, and this is going to be a sequence which is a very good complement if you've already done a cardio workout today. You've done your run, your dog walk, your swim, whatever it may be. This will be a really nice way for you to just be calm, do this in the evening, it'll set up a good night's sleep. We'll be doing a selection of seated poses, the odd downward facing dog as well, and hopefully your hips, your legs and your lower back will feel nice and stretched out. We'll do some twists as well and some side bends. So enjoy, and if you're enjoying these Sarah's Shorts classes, please do look for me on Patreon, and you can, for a very small amount of money, £3 a month, join me and get lots more of these classes. Have a look at the link below for all that information. Let's begin. I want you please to start in child's pose. So bring your hands to the floor. Come to hands and knees. Lift your chin, lift your sitting bones, and slowly sink your bottom to your heels. Look at your hands. You might want to use your blanket for your forehead in this child's pose. If you do, then get that now. Finger crawl your hands forward and bring your forehead either onto your blanket or to the floor. Lengthen the side body here, so you might actually want to walk your hands a little closer to each other, particularly if your arms are straight. Rest your forehead on the floor and begin to breathe smoothly and evenly. A few breaths here. Let your lower back broaden from left to right, as well as up and down the spine. Now come to downward facing dog. So lift your head, separate your feet, tuck your toes. You might want to walk your hands a bit further away from each other here. Do have your knees bent to begin with. So you can, again, lengthen the side body. Let your lower back come into its normal little curve. And then begin to straighten your legs. Get the backs of the knees lengthening here. Push your heels down. If you feel like your lower back is rounding, then keep your knees bent. Now bring both of your knees down to the floor and sit onto your blanket. So this is where our seated poses are going to begin, in Siddhasana. So I want you to sit right at the front fold. My blanket's folded pretty high. Do the same with yours. Sit on the front fold there and cross at your ankles. So bring your left foot in, and then place your right foot heel on top of heel. So the tops of your feet are on the floor, and bring your hands down onto your legs. Lift your chest, bring your shoulders back. Now slightly lower your chin. And notice your two sitting bones here on your blanket, and try not to lean to the left or the right, or forwards or backwards. Sit nice and tall. Close your eyes down here for a few moments. Put a little squeeze into your knees. And as you close your eyes, you're better able to notice the movement that is within this relatively still pose. Start to deepen your breathing here. You could even bring in some ujjayi breath. Put a little constriction in the back of your throat. You can keep that ujjayi breath through our sequence if you want, if you feel like you need that background hum. Or just breathe as calmly and smoothly as you can. On your next inhalation, open your eyes. Bring your hands behind you and straighten your legs. So you're coming now into staff pose, Dandasana. Bring your hands down by your side. Squeeze your legs strong. If you feel like you're getting hyperextension in your knees, put a tiny little bend into your knees so that your legs actually stay straight. And raise your chest. Look at your feet. And then come into Sukhasana, easy pose, cross-legged pose with your right leg in front. So bring the left leg in and then the right leg, and try and cross mid-shin and walk your heels away from each other. Make sure that you're still sitting on your blanket well, and float your arms. Now twist to the right. Try not to move to the right, just twist around your spine. Bring your left hand down on your leg, your right hand on the floor behind you. Lift your chest and see if you can rotate your shoulders that little bit more as you keep pressing your feet in towards your body and keeping that little squeeze in your knees. Turn your rib cage. Float your arms. Turn back to center. Inhale. Exhale. Twist the other way. Try and tuck that left shoulder blade into the back of your heart. And again, rotate the entire rib cage from the right to the left. Relax your shoulders here. Try not to lift them up by your ears. Float your arms. Turn back to center. Bring your hands behind you and change the cross of your leg. So now your left leg is in front. And again, try and cross mid-shin and try and have this front shin parallel to the front of your mat. So your feet aren't in, if anything, they're out a little bit and there's a gap, a space in between your legs and your groin. Now for a side bend, bring your right hand down, reach your left arm over the side of your head like you do in side angle pose. See if you can bring this arm back a little bit here. Again, try and keep that ujjayi breathing if you can, or at least breathing that is smooth and even and calm. Drop your right shoulder away from your neck. Turn your head to look up. And let the left side of your waist feel heavy, the left hip drop towards your blanket. Other side, bring your left hand to the floor, fingertips point over to the left, drop the shoulder and then reach your right arm over the side of your head. Try not to have a floppy arm here. Keep that arm nice and long and engaged and straight. Move the left ribs slightly forwards, the right ribs back. Push your left hand down. Inhale, come all the way up. Again, bring your hands on the floor behind you. Lean back, change the cross of your legs. So again, the right leg is in front. Lift your buttocks up a little bit here. Use your hands to help you adjust, bringing up the glutes. Bring your hands onto your knees. Lift your chest. Now you can stay upright like this or come into a forward fold. Bring your fingertips to the floor, strong arms here, and possibly fold forward a little bit more. Maybe bringing your hands flat. You can drag your hands back a little bit more to tilt you slightly forward. We're looking for length in the lower back here. Keep bringing in the lower ribs so your abdominal muscles stay engaged. Inhale, come all the way up, push your hands down to help you and change the cross of your legs. So now it's the left leg in front again. And we'll do that forward fold again. Hands on your knees to begin with. Push your feet down, lift your chest and fold forward slowly. This pose is a little bit risky for the outsides of the knees, so really do take your time and don't come forward any more than your range of motion. So observe your body keenly here. Keep pressing your feet in towards you, keep a squeeze in your knees. Try and keep your breathing calm and easy. The reason we're sitting on a blanket here is it makes this pose and most seated poses a little bit more doable, having your pelvis up a little higher, and your knees a little lower. Inhale, come up. Now change the cross of your legs one last time. We're going to come into Gomukhasana leg. So your right leg is in front. And I want you here to bring your right foot a little bit more to the left so this knee becomes vertical. And bring your left knee to straight forwards. So you're assisting the foot a little bit more over to the right there. Then step your right foot over. Stay with this, with the knee up, or possibly bring your leg a little bit more around so you're stacking the right knee on top of the left. And then push your feet down, like oars, resting in a rowing boat. And then bring your hands down, either beside you, so you're a little bit more uplifted, which is easier, or possibly come forwards a little bit here as you keep the squeeze in your knees and keep pushing your feet down. A little bit more intense now, so don't come down so much. Again, try and keep your breathing smooth and even. And coming out of this, push your hands down, lift your chest up, bring your hands behind you, pick up that right leg, then the left, and then this time the right leg goes under, the knee straight ahead, and then your left leg, either keep the knee vertical as you step the foot across or possibly bring it around. This leg might not be so flexible, so be kind to yourself, don't force things. And then again, push your feet down, squeeze your knees, stay up or come forwards. Keep your abs engaged here, keep knitting in the lower ribs. And remember, yoga is something that we do often, hopefully. So the more often you do it, the more bendy you will become. Don't force it from the get-go. Just remember that you'll do it another day and then another day. It will get easier. You'll come further forward. Be patient. Now as you inhale, come up. Again, lean back. Bring that left leg across and come into downward facing dog. So move the blanket away. Place your hands. Step back. Take your time. You're going from one extreme to the other with your legs here. The backs of your knees are going to protest a little bit. Give them time to lengthen and adjust. Now we're going to come into pigeon prep here, which you've kind of been preparing for with those previous poses. So bring your right knee behind your right wrist onto the floor. Bring your left knee to the floor and your back toenails, your left toenails, down. Lift your chest. Press your knees towards each other and fold forward. Rest your forehead on your stacked palms or on one stacked fist or one fist. And keep that pressing of your knees towards each other. So your front knee is dragging back, your back knee is moving forward energetically. Relax your shoulders. I find keeping my eyes open here keeps me better focused. I recommend you do the same. Then from here, lift your head. Bring your hands back down to the floor and bring your right buttock down. So bring your right hand out to the right to help you with that. Bring the right buttock down. Reach around with your left hand for a thigh stretch. Grab your back foot. Push your hips in between your knees. And you might find that if you can bring that left heel in to touch your left buttock, you can bring the left knee back a bit as well. You keep pushing your tailbone in between your knees. So you can really feel that thigh stretch going on. And you might even feel a little bit here in the hip flexor as well. The front left part of your pelvis. And then from here, come back to pigeon prep. So release that back foot, bring your hands to the floor. Pick up your right buttock. Tuck your back toes under this time and pick up your back knee. Straighten that leg. Lift your chest. Try not to lean to the right or the left. And come back to downward facing dog. I love this sequence. I do this quite often as part of my own practice. Bring your left knee behind your left wrist. It really does free up the legs. And I do find stretching the thighs to be very kind of liberating. Okay, so for pigeon prep, back toenails on the floor, press your knees towards each other, and fold forwards. If you stacked your fists vertically last time, bring the other one on top this time. And again, try not to lean to the left or the right. Don't feel like you've got to bring your left buttock to the floor here. If anything, we just want to keep the lower back parallel to the floor, not tipping over to one side. Keep pressing your feet down. Keep pressing your knees towards each other. Then lift your head, bring your hands to the floor, left buttock down, left hand out, thigh stretch for the other leg, the right leg. Draw the heel in, turn your chest up to the ceiling. And again, you might bring this knee back a little bit, but only if you feel like the thigh will let you. Don't force anything here. Keep pushing that left hip and the right hip forwards in between your knees. Particularly the right hip. breathe into that thigh, like you're nourishing it with prana, with energy. Then release, come back to pigeon prep, bring your right hand and your left hand to the floor, pick up the left buttock, tuck your back toes under this time, and then lift up that knee. Come onto your fingertips if you like here. Keep your chest low to begin with, and then you might find you can increase the back bend. Take it easy though, take it slowly. Downward facing dog. Place your left hand down, then your right. Push back, push your hands forward, coming back into a symmetrical pose here. Now bring both of your knees down to the floor and sit onto your heels, knees together, heels together. Bring your hands onto your thighs. So Vajrasana, thunderbolt pose. Then I want you from here, bring your left hand down to the floor. Bring both of your legs forward, so you're not sitting on a blanket here. Hands by your side, so you're back into staff pose. We're going to do Ardha Virasana, half Virasana here. So lean over towards your right with your right hand on the floor. Bend your left leg and then reach around, grab the front of the ankle again and bring that shin to the floor. I'm going to move now. You don't move. I just want to show you what that looks like from this angle here. So I've got the top of my left foot on the floor here, right leg is straight, half Virasana. Now, stay with this, or bring your blanket behind you so that you can potentially recline. Bring your hands to the floor behind you. Lift your chest, pick your bottom up, move your tailbone towards your knees, and then bring your bottom back down again. This might be it for you, or you might be able to bring your forearms down, and then that might be it for you. If your left hip is lifting up a lot, don't come down anymore. But if you feel like your hip points are pretty much parallel, then you might find that you can come down onto your blanket. Try and have the blanket underneath your upper back. It will help. Now, those of you that do yoga regularly, you know this pose. You don't need the blanket. Get rid of the blanket. And whatever you're doing, breathe steadily and calmly. And try and have that straight leg nice and straight, pressing down into the floor. If your left knee is lifted, gently press it down towards the floor. And keep pressing all of your left toenails down as well. Stay here for a few more breaths. Now, if you are completely reclined, push your elbows down, lift yourself up so you come back onto your forearms, and then place your hands on the floor, bring yourself up, lean over to the right, straighten your left leg, lean over to the left and bend your right leg. So half of Virasana on the other side. Okay, and again, you can stay completely upright. You can sit on your blanket as well here, by the way, if this is too much, but try and have the foot on the floor, just your bottom on the blanket. And then there's that potential reclining. So bring your hands back, pick the bottom up, and then forearms maybe. This side might not be so easy, might not be so pliable, so be patient and be prepared to maybe not come all the way down this time if you did last time. Whatever you're doing, keep pressing your tailbone in between your knees, straight forwards. And keep that straight leg nice and strong. Upper body is relaxed. Lower body not relaxed. Keep pushing the tailbone forward. Keep pressing your right knee towards your left. Not that your knees are touching, but you feel like your thigh bones are parallel. You haven't got this right knee going way out to the right. Knit down the lower ribs a little bit here so your abs stay engaged. Then, again, if you're reclined, push your elbows down, come back to your forearms, and then the palms of your hands. Lean to the left, straighten out that right leg, come back into Dandasana, staff pose. then downward facing dog. Sweep your legs around, move your blanket away, place your hands down, come into your Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bring your knees back down to the floor and bring your knees onto your blanket so that you have the long edges of the mat going to your left and your right. A nice knee softener here. Straighten your right leg out. And then bring your left fingertips down to the floor. I nearly gave you a cue there to lift up your leggings. Bring your left fingertips down to the floor and bring your right arm over the side of your head, like we did earlier when you were cross-legged. Keep pushing your hips forward. Engage your abs by pressing in the lower ribs. Keep this right arm nice and straight. 3. See if you can get a bit more length on that right side of your body. 2 and 1. Bring your right hand onto your right hip. Come all the way up. Knees together. Other side. Left leg. Try and be straight with the hand, the knee and the foot. Bring your left arm over the side of your head. Nice side body lengthening. Back toenails on the floor, by the way. Your right toenails down. Eke out a bit more length on that side. Left side. 3, 2, and 1. Bring your left hand on your hip. Come up. Then sit back down onto your blanket. Not too high this time. Make sure that the folded edge is straight ahead. Lengthen your right leg, Janu Shirshasana, and bring your left foot in. Float your arms. Turn towards your right leg. Bring your hands down. Inhale, lift your chest. And as you exhale, fold forwards. Now, if you don't want to sit on the blanket, that's fine. Particularly here, you might feel that the right sitting bone on the blanket is a bit annoying. You might even want to move it away. But you might want to have that left buttock on the blanket. So from here, do your thing. You can grab onto your shin. You can keep your hands on the floor. If you've got a strap nearby, if you want to use your strap, you can put it around the sole of your foot or grab your foot. Inhale, lift your chest, and as you exhale, come into your forward fold, but keep this right leg straight and strong. Knit in the lower ribs. And then let this left side of your waist be long as you drop the left ribs down and lift the right ribs up. Then bring your hands back down to the floor, come all the way up and change legs. Now, if you want to put your right buttock back onto the blanket, go for it. And maybe move the left side of the blanket away. Or just keep your bottom on both lengths of the blanket. Bring your hands down. Turn your chest. Inhale and lift. And as you exhale, fold forward. Remember, you can always bend this straight knee here if you need to. Dig the heel down. And again, you can use your belt. You can grab onto your shin. Or possibly get the foot. Whatever works for you. I quite like to have my left hand on the outside of the shin here to push it forwards. Drop the right ribs, lift the left ribs, so you're coming to a little bit of a barrel twist here in your rib cage. 3, 2, lift your elbows a little bit here if you've got your foot. 1. Inhale, come up and change sides. So we're going to go back to Janu Shirshasana with the right leg straight, but we're going to make this into a bit of a twist, a Parivrtta Janu Shirshasana. So from here, bring your right forearm to the floor, press your forearm into your inner leg and lean back. And then possibly slide your hand a little bit more towards this foot. Lean back again, then reach your left arm up like the side angle pose preparation that we did kneeling, and get a little bit more length on this left side of your body and lean back a little bit more. Now you might find here that you can bring your hand a little bit closer, your right hand a little bit closer to your foot and grab onto the ball of the big toe. If you can, be my guest, do it. If not, don't worry about it, just keep your forearm on the floor. And then you might find that you can reach the left arm over and grab the little toe edge of this foot and then lean back again. So whatever you can do, go for it. I'm going to be conservative here. I haven't done this pose for a while. I'm not going to stretch it. Lean back, turn your belly, turn your chest. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come up. And change sides. So lean back, bring the right leg in, left leg out. Again, Parivrtta Janu Shirshasana. Left forearm to the floor. Lean back. Take your time. You're going from one extreme to the other now. So let your body adapt. Reach your right arm over your ear. Lean back. Press your arm into your leg. Take your time here. Don't feel like you've got to come into the full possibility of the pose without some preparation work. And again, you might find that you can grab the ball of the foot. You might find that you can bring your right hand to the outside of the little toe. Lean back, whatever you're doing, and keep pressing the right ribs in. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, bring your right arm up onto your hip. Come all the way up. Bring your hands onto the floor behind you. Bring the soles of your feet together for Baddha Konasana. Lift your chest. Then lean back, straighten your legs. Come a little bit more forward of your blanket here. Then hands on the floor behind you for Upavista Konasana. Lift your chest, and as you exhale, fold forward. Hands down, maybe elbows down. You might find you can come a little bit more forward, but really think of this pose as growing out from the base of your spine. So don't force yourself to round down if it doesn't feel okay in your lower back. 3, 2, keep squeezing your legs straight, keep your toes pointing up, your knees up. 1, inhale, walk your hands back, come all the way up. Bring your hands behind you and come into Shavasana. You've done it. Move your blanket so that it's underneath your head now. Lie down. If you feel like you want to draw your knees in towards your shoulders or twist, maybe even come into bridge pose, then feel free to do that. I wouldn't come into bridge if you're about to go to bed though. Maybe just leave the back bends for another day. Lengthen your legs down your mat, or you can put the backs of your knees over your bolster if you have one nearby, and rest here. And I'm going to keep you here for 1 minute. If you want to stay longer, then press the pause button now and let yourself stay as long as you want. Soften and relax every tissue in your body. Now bend your knees 1 leg at a time and roll over onto your right side. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your head resting on your arm or on your blanket. Notice how you feel here. Observe how your body feels, how your mind feels, how you have responded to your asana, your pose practice. And push down with one hand then the other, and bring yourself up to sit. Get your blanket and sit in Siddhasana. Lift your bottom up, put the blanket underneath. Bring one heel in and then the other heel on top of that. And bring the backs of your hands onto your thighs. Widen and straighten your fingers. And then bring your hands into heart center. Keep your fingers apart. Anjali mudra here. This is the mudra of being thankful, mudra of gratitude. Be thankful for yoga, for your opportunity to practice. You have the time, you have the resources. We're lucky. Lower your chin. Release your hands, bring your palms down onto your legs now. Then lift your chin. Open your eyes. Namaste. Well done.